Our whole world, just a swipe away. If there's one thing we love most in this world, it's time. Everything we do is fast, from our work, to our play, to even our sleep. Just look at a study by Princeton, where they found that the average sleep by hour dropped from 7.9 hours in 1942 to 6.8 hours in 2013. Some say you can blame our fast-paced world on the Industrial Revolution, and others say you can blame it on the internet. Regardless, in our ambition for a faster and faster paced life, we've created a new class of food in of itself. Our journey begins in ancient Rome, with a population of about 1 million people at its peak. To fit in all these people, the Romans built apartment blocks called insulae, mostly for peasants. Insulae would often have vendors just below them, and the peasants would live off food from these vendors, usually something eaten like bread soaked in wine or cooked vegetables. This was quick, easy, and most importantly, cheap for anyone that could enjoy at any time. We will notice this as a common trend to all successful fast food. The street vendor type of fast food would continue on for about 2,000 years all over the world and would not experience any big change until its revolution in 1921 America, a country that had just started getting comfortable with the good life of ample money and easy ways to burn it. In that year, the closest thing to resemble modern fast food would pop up in the burger chain White Castle in Wichita, Kansas. Just before this, in 1906, Upton Sinclair's hit novel, The Jungle, had been published, making the poor sanitation practices of the meatpacking industry known. Founders Billy Ingram and Walter Anderson attempted to change the public view about meats with their brand new restaurant. Ingram and Anderson attempted to make their restaurant stand out from the rest and give at least the perception of cleanliness using a white color scheme and white employee uniforms cleaned daily. By 1923, there were 13 million cars on American roads, and it was clear that this new invention would stay for a long time to come. White Castle, along with other businesses such as restaurants and theaters, responded to this by creating drive-thrus, which before this was only seen on banks, making them very popular with young teens looking for some independence. White Castle also became incredibly popular due to being the only burger place in the state, along with the invention of the seedless bun and speedy service from the first assembly lines used in the fast food. Customers also enjoyed the luxury of knowing exactly what they were going to get, as the pictures would perfectly match up with the meal due to the assembly line style of cooking. Thanks to Ingram and Anderson's high standards and innovations, many Americans began to believe in the meat industry once more. By the 1950s, the fast food industry had reached new heights and become ingrained in society. For example, in 1951, the Merriam-Webster Dictionary even added fast food to their vocabulary. One cannot talk about 1950s fast food without talking about McDonald's, the undisputed champion of fast food during the era and after. McDonald's, despite a misconception of originality and being the only player in the market, simply built on the foundations of what White Castle did 20 years earlier. The Southern California Company opened in 1940, and after unsuccessfully attempting to sell barbecue for a year, they changed their name and switched to selling burgers. Ray Kroc, a seller of milkshake machines, decided to call up the McDonald's brothers as he heard they were using some of his machines in their restaurant. Kroc bought the rights to franchise the company in the eastern United States, and his growth was unprecedented. By 1959, there were 102 restaurants open. By 1960, the child menu had become a standardized part of fast food nationwide and had brought a friendlier family atmosphere in. The 1960s in fast food was all about the kids. Advertisers began to focus on marketing on kids, and the toy with a meal became more and more popular. The 1960s was also the year of Mexican fast food. Two brand new competitors, Taco Bell and Del Taco, would stay relatively quiet until the 1980s ethnic fast food boom. In the 1980s, due to better recognition by politicians that minorities such as Indians, blacks, Hispanics, and Asians were influencing the vote, minorities were somewhat noted and accepted. The influx of minorities certainly led to a new revolution in fast food, adding an ethnic twist on the proven American burger joint formula. Taco Bell and Del Taco, although created in 1960, experienced their rise to power and is now seen in all U.S. Colonel Sanders opened his restaurant in 1930, and Popeyes opened in 1972, but did not experience nationalization until the 1980s. Rogue player Panda Express opened in 1983 and met immediate success, as with all of the other ethnic fast foods. The fast food industry would largely stay on the same course until the 2000s and the health craze. Today, the American fast food industry employs over 4 million workers to prepare and serve the expansive types of foods. On top of that, the U.S. holds the largest food industry in the world, with American restaurants going global in over 100 countries. There are 160,000 fast food restaurants in the U.S. as of March 2015, proving that fast food has truly taken over our lives. Despite burgers and fries still being the top dog in the fast food industry, new, trendy forms of fast food come around in the form of food trucks and fusion restaurants. Everyone is trying to set a new trend in fast food. One only has to look at a falafel or even a McDonald's steak burger to realize this. The restaurants that strive for quality, cleanliness, and customer service have and always will succeed. By far, the biggest topic about fast food is whether it is truly as bad as many media outlets will portray it as. There is the obvious health risk involved, but think about what fast food has done for us, normal American citizens. For example, fast food is a cornerstone of the American economy, generating $110 billion each year. And the cheap and affordable food helped out one more lower-class American have a full stomach for a night. Maybe a little grease in our lives makes us a little bit happy.